Hey readers! Welcome to Zoie's Midweek Reviews, and today is going to be Cinda Williams Chima's The Heir series. Now, unfortunately, as you can see, I got rid of the cover again. Sorry, I found them annoying when I was a couple years ago, so I pretty much got rid of all of the covers that I had on my books. But now I keep a few of them just because some of them actually look really, really cool, and others I just usually keep them as a bookmark, and they do protect the books a lot better than my bookshelf does, because this has a tear in it already, but I've had this for a while, so. Anyway, this is the first book, The Warrior Heir, and sorry, that camera is at a different odd angle. And basically what it's about is a boy named Jack Swift, who was born with a wizard's stone, but he was sick as a baby and he almost died. So his aunt called in a doctor from London who's also a wizard. And she took out his wizard stone and placed it with a warrior stone, turning him into a warrior instead of a wizard. Now, that made his aunt really angry, because warriors are driven to near extinction because wizards use them to fight in games for their own enjoyment. Now, you might see a little Hunger Games action here. It's not really that. Because in this book, there are only, I think, 2 warriors. A girl and a boy, and I will let you read this and find out what happens to both of them. This is actually a really good book, and I have the first, second, and third, but there are 5 in this whole series. There are the Warrior Heir, the Wizard Heir, the Dragon Heir, the Enchanter Heir, and the Sorcerer Heir. Yeah. Anyway, because I got rid of the cover, I don't have a summary for it, so I had to go online and I had to look up the summary. Yes, this is a very big note card. Alright, so I'll read you the summary, like I always do. Jack Swift, a 16-year-old boy from a small town in Ohio, lives like a normal kid for almost 16 years. All that sets him apart from everyone else is the scar above his heart and the medicine he takes each day. One day, however, he forgets to take it. Suddenly, he is stronger, faster, and more alert than anyone else. However, that draws the attention of the roses. The red and white rose have been looking for warriors like Jack. The problem is, the constant fighting has driven warriors to near extinction. Now, Jack must learn to fight in order to compete in the games that will likely kill him. And I forget which rose he's a part of, because the doctor, Dr. Longbranch, Jessamine Longbranch, the one who operated on him when he was little, is part of whichever rose, and she was going to take him away when he was a baby. But then his aunt caught her in the act and convinced her to take him at a later date. And as you can see, I'm rereading it because this is a very good book, and I am looking forward to reading the rest of them. This isn't the only series that Cinda Williams Chima has. She also has 7 Realms series, which the first book is called The Demon King, which I do have, but I can't get it at the moment because if I do, my bookshelf's going to collapse. Because I have one bookshelf that's hold all my manga books, which are Japanese comic books, if you didn't know that, and the other one just a makeshift bookshelf which just has books stacked on top of each other, just there. Because I do not have another bookshelf to hold all of them, and all my manga books take up this shelf, which isn't a very big shelf. It's got 3 rows, and they're all stacked to the height. I really need to get a new bookshelf. Anyway, so this was the first book, and it is very good. It's well written, and if I did have the cover, I would show you because it actually looks really cool if I remember it correctly. It had a sword on the front, a gold sword with I think a red gemstone in the hilt. If I'm saying this correctly, I don't know sword parts. And that's what the cover of the Warrior looked like. Now the Wizard Heir, which I can get it, which is the second book, had a staff on it, a green staff with a green gem on it. It's called the Wizard Heir for a reason. This does have Jack Swift in it, but it also focuses on another character. It focuses on a boy who is a wizard who didn't know his parents. He only knew of an enchanter called Genevieve. And she raised him since he was little. I will give you a little bit of a spoiler to this. He's Jack's cousin, but he doesn't know it. At least not yet, anyway. He doesn't even know who his parents are, and I don't think his parents knew who he was when they first saw him, because I don't think they've seen him for a long while. Anyway, in this, I'm going to go back to the Warrior right now for just a little bit. In this book, there is a boy called Lee, who's I guess kind of dating Jack's aunt. Anyway, he's a wizard, and he lost his sister, who was a warrior, to the Roses like 100 years ago. And yes, he's still alive in this book too. And he looks pretty young. Wizards live like a long time, but warriors die young. There are, I think, 4, or no. You can see how long it's been since I've read this book, since I don't know what I'm talking about usually. There's either 4 or 5 type of stones. There's warrior, wizard, seer, enchanter. There's 5. And there's another one. I can't remember it for the life of me. I can't. He does explain it in these books, so that's a good thing. Anyway, in the Wizard Heir, the boy goes to a school that has a separate group of alumni who are also wizards. And so he goes there because they figure out that he's a wizard, and he becomes part of them for a little bit. But then he realizes that they were bad, and the teacher who's who's the leader of the group is really bad, like murder bad, and so he tries to leave. That doesn't work out so well. He gets plagued with nightmares, and he's losing sleep, and he's acting paranoid and aggressive, and it's just horrible for him. But then he meets another student who doesn't like them as well either, and they're also a wizard. He gives the boy a stone that if he puts a spell on it, he can actually sleep, like dead sleep. He will appear dead, but he'll at least be able to sleep, no nightmares or anything. And you can set it for how many time limit you want. You will not wake up whatsoever. And it comes in handy with him because he gets captured by the same people that wanted to make him a part of the alumni. And no, this is not the Illuminati. And now I'll move on to the third book, the Dragon Heir. Now this one is a paperback, so it actually has a cover on it, and I can't take it off. So that's good. And it's really interesting because there's a staff with a blue stone on top, and it looks kind of like a medieval, I don't know why I said medieval kind of clockwork thing. Anyway, here's what the cover looks like. Pretty cool looking. And I have read this one, and it's a good book. Again, it does not take place as the boy in the second one or Jack in the first one. It takes place with another character, a girl. It also alters between a girl and a boy. His name is Jason. He's also the boy who helps this boy in the second book. And so this is actually a very good series, and I would recommend if you like wizards, dragons, mysteries, a lot of different types of. There's a lot of things in here. And all combined, this is the thickness of a book, or books. And I think I read these a couple times, but it's been a while, and I have a lot of books, and I've borrowed books from my friends in the library, and I haven't read them. I need to get them back. Yeah, I've got 2 somewhere. They're over here next to my ridiculous amount of pens. That's highly unnecessary. I don't know why I have all these pens. Anyway, sorry if you see a glare. There's my computer. I had to look up the summary for that book. So that is what the Warrior Heir is mainly about. If you do like the series or my description of the book, I would highly suggest reading it. It's a very good series. It's a very good series so far, and I'm really looking forward to the Enchanter Heir and the Sorcerer Heir. I really want to read those 2, since I've read all of those. And I found the Enchanter Heir. The only reason I knew about it is because I found the Enchanter Heir at Target. Unfortunately, I didn't have the money at the time to get the book. I think I did. I'm not sure. And so I'm not good at summaries. Okay. This is actually a fun video though. Like just reviewing books is a fun thing for me to do, and it gets me over like my stage fright a little bit. Which reminds me about the announcements I have to make. Okay. There are a couple of announcements. The first announcement, the biggest one, is that I will be changing the name of my reviews. Instead of Zoe's Midweek Reads, it'll be Zoe's Midweek Reviews. That way the reviews expand to a broader category of reviewing. I won't just be reviewing books. I'll be reviewing video games, board and card games, magazines, maybe not magazines, definitely not newspapers, comic books, anything, pretty much. And I'll probably do interviews with authors and all sorts of stuff. For now, anyway. Another thing is, during this month is a thing called the Polar Bear Plunge. And it's basically what it is you donate money, about like $50 minimum, for the Special Olympics. And what you do is you travel to Lake Erie. I live really close to Lake Erie, but like maybe 10 minutes. And what they do is they carve out the ice, since it's frozen over now. They carve it out until like there's a little, you can still see the water. And then they have guys standing all around the edge of it, like inside, on the inside edge. And what you do is you run through it. And if you do this, I would highly suggest grabbing onto their hands that they hold out to you, because your legs will probably not want to walk anymore when you get out. I used to describe the feeling as needles stabbing into my skin, but I've actually had that feeling before, so it's not quite the same. What it feels is your legs are actually like freezing from the inside, and they're cracking. So it's actually kind of painful when you walk. And what you do is, after you gotten out, you go to change into your warm clothes, and you go home for like hot chocolate or a warm bath or something. I've done this 2 years. This will be my 3rd time doing this. And you get t-shirts if you donate the minimum, a towel if you donate about $75, and if you donate $100, you get the shirt, a towel, and a mystery prize. I've gotten 2 shirts and a towel. I'm sorry. So basically that's what that one is about. Another thing is, next week, during school, I would have to have given a report about Harry S. Truman for my English class. It's a creative writing assignment. Now, normally if you think about a creative writing assignment, you'd think about, oh, let's just write a short story on our own about what's in our head. Nope. We're given a story about, we have to write down 12 interesting facts, and that's also with the day he was born, where he was born, and where he died and stuff. And this is actually my mom's favorite president, so she gave me a few interesting facts, like how he memorized the eye chart to go into the army, because he was very nearsighted, like thick glasses, kind of nearsighted. So he memorized the eye chart, and he was put as the leader of a group of soldiers that have gone through 3 leaders prior to him, and they just didn't listen. But with him, they listened, and they were his friends, and they supported him when he went into politics. When he was around 50 years old and became the president, they supported him and voted for him. I'm getting off track. There's nothing to do with the book. It's just news for this month. Alright, I think that's it. Yeah, my computer's turning off. And for next week, I will be reviewing the House of Dark Shadows series by Robert Liparuto. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing his last name right, because it's kind of like a mouthful or something. But there's 6 books in the series. If you're hearing snorting or snoring, that's my dog. They're all sleeping in here. Except for Chief. He's chewing on a blanket. So that's basically what's going on. Next week I'll be reviewing, as I said, I'll be reviewing that series. And then the week after that, on the 18th, I will be reviewing Strange Angels and Betrayals, along with Jealousy by Lili St. And that's a good series as well. And then after that, on the 25th, I will be reviewing the book Howl's Moving Castle, which is a good book, and I recommend it for children. It's also been turned into an animation movie. I'll look up who did that. And so that pretty much ends the video. I hope you guys liked the review, and I would recommend commenting if you want. I would like to know what kind of suggestions you have for other books. I love reading, and as you probably know. And just if you have any suggestions or comments on anything, like how I should improve my videos. I know I shouldn't stutter a lot, and I should know exactly what I'm talking about. Get a lot of important details and facts about the book. I'm still working on that. I'm kind of new to this whole making videos thing, so I apologize for all of this. So that ends the video, and I will see you guys all next week. Alright, I'll see you. Bye.